Hola a todos, ¿qué tal estáis? Aquí estamos en Shaolin Temple, Spain, y hoy tenemos una visita muy especial. Han venido Matt Jane y su grupo de Temple London a hacernos una visita y, bueno, vamos a compartir con ellos un ratito y que nos den un poco sus impresiones de Shaolin, su último viaje que han estado haciendo en España, sus experiencias en China, etcétera, etcétera. ¿De acuerdo? Vamos a por ello. Okay, Matt, first of all, we wanted to thank you a lot for your visit here to our temple.
Thank you.
And, well, we wanted to know, let us know a bit about yourself, your school, your last few days in Spain.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, so like a lot of people, I've loved martial arts since I was a young child. And actually I was into Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan and everything like this. And when I was 11 years old, I saw a show called The Wheel of Life. Some of you might have seen it. It's called the Shaolin Wheel of Life. Very famous Kung Fu show by the Shaolin monks. They toured the world. And when I saw this, it was the first time I saw any martial arts live on stage. Before it's just on television, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, that type of thing. And it gave me the dream to want to move to the Shaolin Temple in China. Of course, it was just a dream, an idea in my head. But when I turned 16, I decided to leave school and actually I flew to China to live at the Shaolin Temple, and I lived there for almost 5 years, studying and learning different forms of martial arts, you know, training each and every day, running up mountains, crawling down on my hands and knees, headstands on concrete for hours and hours on end. And actually, after about 4 years of training there, I was chosen, and my wheel, the Wheel of Life, continued to turn, and I was chosen as the first and only non-Chinese Shaolin warrior to be part of the same show I saw when I was 11, the Wheel of Life. And I ended up touring around the world with this team. And meanwhile, the love of my life, my wife, I met her. She was also a student in Shaolin. We met and she fell pregnant, and we decided to move to London, which is where I was raised, and open our own Kung Fu school, the temple. We opened the temple in 2009, 13 years ago. We had our son, T, and since then we've been training and sharing the wisdom of Kung Fu with the people of London and the world who come to travel and train with us. I love to perform and I continue to travel around the world, hence why I'm here in Spain now, doing TV shows and other things which will hopefully inspire people and show them that with a strong mind, you have a strong body and anything is possible.
That's totally true. Amazing.
Thank you.
Relationship with Shaolin, the Shaolin Temple itself and such. What could you tell us? I mean, well, you already explained us that you went there to make a huge change in your life, to inspire yourself and help others to do the same. But what could you tell us about what would you remark about the training there, the Shaolin culture itself?
Cool.
What it means for you?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so good to help others?
Yeah.
Your own experience.
Yeah. So as a youngster growing up in the Western world, in particular London, I had a very small mindset, you know. London is very small and I was young, have this kind of teenager energy, and of course I love Kung Fu. And I was good at Kung Fu even before I went to China, and going to China I only got better. But whilst in China, I learned some important life lessons, changed my perspective on life. You know, at the time that I lived in China, which was like 2005, quite a long time ago, life was very different. Dongfeng and Shaolin is developing very quickly, but in that particular moment in time for me, my memory, we had time with no water, no electricity, we had to fetch water, living on, you know, hard wooden beds, training for many, many hours, a lot more hours than I experienced in UK. So this kind of, people think it was Kung Fu that I learned. Actually, when I went there, I did learn Kung Fu, but it was more than that. It was a way of life. It opened my eyes and showed me that there's much more to life than what I knew. And it gave me opportunity to build myself, not just physically, but mentally. And of course, at the same time, the Chinese culture, I fell in love with the language. Of course, my wife is Chinese as well, so I fell in love with a Chinese person, and my whole life has changed since that experience. So there's so much you can learn and take from traveling. And one thing I always tell people is follow your dream. You know, when I was 16, all of my peers and friends said, oh, it's not possible, don't do it, you can't speak Chinese, it's dangerous, etc., etc., etc. But in reality, if it was easy, everyone will do it. So you have to be willing to push yourself to achieve your goals. And not everyone will share your goals. Some people have different ideas. You know, even in Kung Fu, in Shaolin is quite popular now in the West, and many teachers, everyone have different way. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's your path. And you have to find your path, follow your dream, and achieve your goal.
Yeah, definitely. We know that Shaolin is very rich as a culture, but Shaolin Kung Fu particularly has so many styles.
Yes.
And we know that your school is very spectacular. You definitely do acrobatics so good. You do a lot of impressive things.
Thank you.
But in particular, which style of Shaolin Kung Fu would you say it suits best?
For me?
For you? Your favorite weapon?
My favorite, yeah. Interesting question. So I've been doing Shaolin Kung Fu now for over 20 years, 25 years. And of course, like a favorite food, it can change. Yeah. So over the years, I changed lots of different styles, from drunken to tiger to traditional forms, sometimes qigong. And wherever you focus, you develop in different areas. Lots of people, you know, you might meet me and say, oh, you look so big and strong. Yeah, I'm big and strong. And maybe you saw 10, 15 years ago, I was a little smaller because I was younger. It takes time. So different period, you train different things, you know. So before, I was much more interested in acrobatics, let's say, and more performance elements, high flying, lots of the more elaborate forms. And then as I've gotten a little older, I pay more attention to, you know, in Kung Fu there's these three concepts, Chan, Wu, Yi. Chan is essentially Buddhism, Wu is Wushu, martial arts, and Yi is medicine. But for me in the West, it's not like this. It's Chan is a mind, Wu is just exercise, and Yi is food. So as I got older, I pay attention to food a little bit more. Diet is very important to maintain health. You know, when I was younger, I trained very hard. Like I live in Shaolin, training very hard, probably more than now. But my diet was very bad because I didn't focus on this side of things. So things change and now it's more balanced. So for me, it's like I'm learning. I don't want to be a master. I just want to continue the journey. And I don't think I reached any destination yet. I'm still learning. And if you look at my journey so far, I've achieved so much. And that inspired me to look for the future and say, I'm going to learn so much more. But my favorite thing is just self-development. Right now, today, if you said, okay, do something, I think right now I'm teaching my students drunken because it's going to be Jackie Chan's birthday on April 8th. So for celebrate his birthday, he's very famous for the Drunken Master movie. We're doing drunken. So probably, yeah, some drunken, some ditan, weapon. I have a chain whip with me. I also have my monkey stick. I'm very famous for my monkey stick. Maybe I can do some moves for you guys. But yeah, I like lots of different things.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree that along your career, you go learning and you can change your mind. Probably you develop something and then you change your mind.
Yeah.
But I found very interesting what you said, the holistic approach of the three elements of the Chinese culture. I think I really agree on your view because it's, you know, it's more concrete, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
The food, what you said about the food is very important. It's like what we breathe, what we eat is very, very important. Many people don't pay too much attention. Exactly.
So that's the main difference for me. When I was young, it was just Kung Fu. You know, now I'm a little bit older, it's more like Chan, more mind. But it doesn't have to be Buddhism. Not everyone has to follow Buddhism, but it's a similar concept, you know, positive thinking, positive mindset, and strong mind, strong body. And when them two come together, Chan, Wu, Yi, you need good food, you know, healthy food. It doesn't mean I'm vegan, doesn't mean you have to be vegan, but you need to eat right to feel right, you know, you need to fuel your body. And it takes time to learn. You know, it takes time to learn. But as a famous Chinese teacher, Confucius, he said, simplicity is the key to success. So I love all elements of Kung Fu. And like in here, we can see so many weapons. I can do anything I want. But in reality, the basic training is always the same. I eat very simple. I like to sleep often and I train daily. What do? Push-ups, marble squats, pull-ups, and I like finger training, so I do finger training and this type of thing. Stretching is the basic things, you know. You learn to love the simple side of life.
Cool. If you, I mean, what advice would you give to a student who wants to improve or develop his Kung Fu in general? Because, you know, many times when we start Kung Fu, we are always trying to make more, and you know, and such and very extenuating trainings, which is of course necessary. But I think many times we forget the planification, you know, and the good food habits and such.
Yep.
I mean, what advice would you give to a practitioner who wants to start Shaolin Kung Fu right now?
So first, if you're a beginner, you're not a practitioner yet, you're just a beginner. So in the start, remember this very important thing. You don't need to be great to start, but you need to start to be great, right? So you don't know what the future will bring. But what we're looking for and what I'm looking for when I'm training is happiness, something that encourages me. So of course, the idea training is hard, you have to work hard, is a concept, but training should be fun. It should be enjoyable. It does not have to be hard. If it's hard, most of the time we give up, we fail and we quit. There's no future like that. We need to find something that we enjoy. And Kung Fu, like life, is very vast. So you need to find a teacher that can help you. Not every teacher is going to be able to do that. It has to be unique. And this is a journey. It's like a relationship. Not every relationship is going to be the one. So it takes time. The kind of 3 important lessons in life is time, patience, and consistency. You know, you might look and say, I'm strong. To you, I might be strong, but to someone else, I might be weak. There's no right or wrong. There's no fast or slow. It's just now. NOW, no opportunity wasted. So if you're going to start something like push-ups, you just need to check, see how many you can do. Maybe you can do 10. It's great, it's the best. Then from there you can develop 11, 12. And in this process, time, patience, consistency, very quickly you're going to hit 100, 1000. But if your goal is to do 100, probably you never get there. If your goal is 1000, you never get there. So of course you need to look at me and other senior students and masters and teachers and be inspired. But most important is you enjoy the journey yourself, because it's always about self-development. And in reality, there is no good and there is no bad. Objective comparison like that, it doesn't even exist. It's just in your mind. As long as you're happy and you're free, life can be great.
That's it. So Matt, thank you for coming.
Oh, of course.
We want to let you know that you have here your home.
Thank you.
Shaolin Temple, Spain, as a Shaolin culture lovers, and on behalf of our master Sifu Shiyan Ya.
Thank you.
Our Sisu David Carballo, and the rest of instructors and students of the temple. Here you have your home in Spain.
Thank you.
Whenever you want to come, you will be welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I will always come back. Thank you very much.